Hey, what's up YouTube? So I made a video on the rotation yesterday doing 85,000 DPS. Now, are you going to get that in the dungeon? Probably not, unless you have really good communication with your whole team, the tank. So in this video, I'm basically going to go over my talent trees, the rotation to the class, basically to show you everything and how you can get similar levels to that, maybe in the 30 to 40,000 range. Now, I will say that this class definitely does scale with gear, primarily attack power. So first off, I'll go over my talent tree. This is the Templar side. I like to run this. It doesn't really matter too much. You basically just want to buff your things. I mean, for Templar specifically, the Templar side, it doesn't really matter. Crusader. Now, there's a few different builds that I've seen. Primarily, the difference is this one here and Testament of Strength. A lot of people will, instead of taking Testament of Strength, they will go Legacy of the Silver Hand, where it's up to you. Personally, I prefer Testament of Strength because I'll get into it later. There's also Holy Edge as well, which you can kind of mix around here, but you want to keep this primarily similar. Now after that, I'll go into the rotation. Basically, the way the class works is you have an energy bar, almost one-to-one like a row. It generates, except you don't have combo points. Your combo points are basically your oaths. So the way I can describe an oath is almost like a chain. So you have your spending abilities. First spending ability, I'll put it up on the screen for you, is Holy Cleave, which grants your abilities an additional strike. So whichever button you press will hit the target next or nearby. Now this stacks to 20. The next one is Righteous Lunge, which also stacks to 20. But what that does is it makes your abilities damage and heal for 15% more. This one also stacks up to 20, just like I said. Then you have Condemn, which stacks up to 20, but that increases your critical strike. And that goes all the way up to 100%. But you don't want to go up to 20 because, as you can see, I've already got 27% crit chance. You're going to have a high base crit on a Templar, so you only really need to get to around that extra 50-60% to have close to the crit cap. So going over the rotation, the way I like to play it is I'd start off with Holy Cleave, building as much Holy Cleave as I can. As you can see, it puts this oath on, which I'll call a chain. You want to always have this oath up. If this oath drops off, then your rotation's done. You need to start all over again. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm doing Argent Blade. Every time you do a critical strike or the ability, I forgot the name of it, but you'll know the proc. It's where is it? It's one of them where basically your next chastise won't get rid of your oath and it deals double damage. But you basically want to, this is primarily going to be your rotation. It's Argent Blade and the improved version of Chastise. And what you're doing is you're building up your Holy Cleave combos, and then you have, the reason why Argent Blade is so good is because it extends your oath by 3 seconds. So as you can see, my oath's about to fall off. This is why I like Testament of Strength, because I just gained 15 seconds on my oath. That's why I prefer it. The only way you're going to get around on actually doing this in a dungeon is if you have a coordinated tank, where you can coordinate the pulls and constantly be attacking something. But as you can see, I'm building up. I have 16 Holy Cleave. That's kind of around where you want to be. You don't want to go any more. But then after that, you want to start building up your Righteous Lunge. That's 15% per each charge that you have on each, or whatever you call it, charge. And now all of these, they stack together. So as you can see at the moment, I'm up to 60% extra damage. You can see my DPS on the left. Now I got up to 18 on the Holy Cleave, but I usually like to go for at least 10. 10 is really all that you need. Once you hit 10, you don't really ever pull more than 10 mobs. I mean, if your tank really wants to do a huge pull, maybe you can get up to 15, but it's better to focus on the Righteous Lunge and also Condemn as well. So you want to do 1 for 1, because that's an extra 5% critical chance. So your Argent Blades are doing extra damage, everything's proccing, as you can see on the left, almost at 20,000. And then you also have your Librams as well. So I would say the best Libram is Libram of Consecration for AoE. It just causes all of your abilities to strike nearby targets, as you can see, for 200 damage. I'll put the spells all on the screen for you guys. This is crazy. As you can see right now, I'm doing 25,000 DPS. And with the Oath, the maximum is 14 seconds. So you do not want that to fall off. If it falls off, it's not the end of the world. As you can see, I'm at 2018. Let's stack some Condemn up. Almost at 30k. When you use your Libram of Fervor as well, that's your second spender. You kind of want to rotate between those two. Then you have Libram of Grace. I'll put that on the screen for you guys, but that one basically causes all your damaging abilities to restore 142 health to you and your nearby allies. So if you're doing all of those on a huge pull, you're healing for your entire party for thousands and thousands of health. So this is pretty broken. As you can see, I just did 30,000 DPS. It was like 3 minutes. So the only problem is you do not want your Oath or your Chain to fall off. Otherwise, those 3 stacks that you had of those abilities are going to also fall off. And the way you can kind of get around doing that is, like I said, with the Testament of Strength talent. Let's say you're running from a pack, you've got 3 seconds on your Oath. You can enable this Testament of Strength, Titan Strike, just a nearby enemy in front. It has I believe it's a 30-yard range, so you can do it from range, and that'll add a quick 5 seconds. Now, I do believe it is broken, so for some reason you can only sometimes pull off 1, but when they do end up fixing it, or sometimes it does work, you can have 3 charges. So that's 15 seconds basically stored in the bank for 1 minute of Oath, or extending your chain. So you want to primarily be using your Argent Blade between packs, running between the packs, using your Argent Blade, keeping it up. Then let's say you're about to run out, Titan Strike, bang, that gives you 5% or 5 seconds of extra Oath. That's basically the entire rotation. I'll show you guys my gear. I'm at item level 62, so I prefer to stack attack power, just because Argent Blade scales with your weapon damage. There is another build, it's a bit confusing, with Righteous Tempest. Personally, I was using that, but the reason I don't like Righteous Tempest is because it spends all of your Oath builders. So it might give you 20,000-30,000 DPS for about 5 seconds, but once that falls off, you have to rebuild all your combos back up. So I'd say this is the most popular build. You can also throw Glory in there to gain your 10% haste. Now, another thing you do want to remember too is you want to stack all of these Librams, because if you take the talent that gives you, like, it's 10 or 20% increased haste, you basically have 30 seconds on each Libram, so that gives you 2 minutes, and they have a 2.5 minute cooldown. So you'll have 30 seconds with no Libram. You're going to rotate between all of them just for the haste boost. Now, another one I will show you is you have Temple Guardian. You want this. This basically just allows you to charge to an enemy. I can't show you because these guys are NPCs, but there's a player over here, so watch this bang. Now this one has a 30-yard range, so what I like to do is I like to have the tank set on a focus macro, and as the tank's pulling, if he gets too far, you can use Temple Guardian to charge to it to continue building your Oaths up. That's basically everything, guys. Let me know if you want to see a Zealot build. Zealot is more single target. Crusader, I would say Crusader, especially for Mythic Plus, is the current best AoE in the game. The utility, you also have a 2-minute lay on hands. Crusader is amazing, and once Mythic Plus comes out, people are going to start abusing this if it doesn't get fixed. Now also, I forgot to mention, one of the important things of the rotation is when you're casting Holy Cleave, as you can see, you want to get to about 10, like I said, but one important thing is that your Holy Cleave also spreads your Condemn to every single nearby target. So There's an ability or a talent that I believe I have on, which allows you a condemn to stack up to 4 times. So as you can see, I've got 4 on my main target, but each one also has 4, which is ticking away, dealing holy damage. So this is also extremely good. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But thank you guys. See you in the next video.